never heard myself snore, so I can't confirm nor deny that, but I probably do. So.
Hey, well, talking about your interactions with the Las Vegas Raiders, what would it mean to you to get to play for Coach Kelly?
It'd be awesome, man, and seeing that that move from Coach Kelly, I'm so happy for him, and he's one of the best coaches I've had, man, and one of my favorite people I've been around. And we've stayed in contact, and I hope it'd be amazing to get the opportunity to play for him again. Really, anyone. I'd be happy to go anywhere, man. But he's a great dude, and I'm just so happy that he got the opportunity that he did, and I think that's a really good place. Yeah, I feel a ton more prepared, for sure. Like, without a doubt, I am, this year at Ohio State, I wanted it to be a step up. And I talked about, the two things that I was looking for in a school were developing as a prospect and developing, my draft stock and competing for a national championship. One of those boxes checked. And, now going into this process, like, the things that we went through this year, what I learned, going into a new locker room, having to win over a locker room, like, all those different things really, truly taught me so much, and I feel really well prepared. I think my consistency definitely improved. Being able to, up my completion percentage from 59 or whatever it was in my career at K-State to, 73 this year. I think, I was more accurate. I think I was able to show more arm strength. I definitely probably didn't run the ball as much as I, normally did at Kansas State this past year, but really didn't need to. We had some dudes, back there to carry the load for me. But, I feel like I just developed in every aspect of my game, and it was just a blessing to come to Ohio State, man. It was the best decision I ever made.
Naturally, you coming into that room and also taking over as a leader of that quarterback room, and obviously leading Julian and left behind. What do you think you impressed on those guys, and what do you think the fans should expect this season?
Yeah, man, I think we just had a great vibe in that room, and we had a lot of fun together. And I'm excited for them to, kind of take over and be the guys going forward, because, Julian coming in, he's a little soft-spoken guy. He's quiet, but, now it's his time. Now it's Lincoln and Tavian and those guys, and I'm excited for them, man. I hope that I could have had, a little bit of an impact on them, and, gave some of the things that I've learned from some of the guys that were, above me when I was at Kansas State, like Adrian and Skyler, and some of the guys that I learned from there. I hope I could have left some nuggets with them and showed them, at the very least, how to treat people, and, how to work hard, and, all those different things. And I mean, I'm rooting for those guys, man. I'm pulling for them. We still stay in contact. So I'm gonna be pulling for the Buckeyes big time next year. Shoot, I mean, they're all unbelievable. I of course, being the Ohio State guy, I'd love to throw to like Garrett and Chris and JSN and Marv. But I mean, you could go down the line. I mean, I've always really loved Devontae Adams' game. I thought his game was really awesome. I think the two LSU guys with Jamar and Justin are unbelievable. I mean, you go down the list. I mean, there's a ton. I couldn't pick one.
In hindsight, how was Michigan able to have success defensively against you guys that no other team really was able to last year?
I don't know, man. It was they were a stout front, and they did a good job up front. But we're here to talk about the draft and the combine.
Well, in terms of the top three quarterbacks that you really like to watch, who would you say those are?
It's a good question. I got to say Patrick Mahomes, because he's a dog. Josh Allen. I love watching Josh. I think he's obviously deserved of the MVP award, and did a great job. But I think that third guy, I'd probably have to say Lamar. I just love watching Lamar play. He's developed a lot as a quarterback, and I think a lot of people were saying he was just a running back coming into it, man. But like, he truly has turned into an elite thrower, and I think that's a cool part. And those three guys, I love watching those three guys. Yeah, man.
What are some lessons you think you took from the playoff run that you can then translate into your time in the NFL?
Man, shoot, what didn't I learn, man? I learned a lot from this past year, but you're never out of it, man. And it felt like the world, was caving in on us after that last game of the year, and a lot of people wanted to say that, but we still had to cling to hope that that we could still win a national championship, and we did that. We banded together and said, no matter what, no matter how hard this feels right now, no matter what adversity we go through, we got to stick together, and I think. The power of team and the power of God and the power of belief, man, was shown throughout that whole playoff run. And we were able to really just, impose our will on some teams.
How much did you, how much momentum did you build for yourself for the playoff run to kind of help your stock?
Yeah, I think that was huge for me. A lot of people were telling me, different things about where my draft stock was after the year, and wasn't really sure going into the playoffs. But they said, hey, you could really help yourself out if you have a strong showing in the playoffs. So, I said, all right, deal. Let's see how this thing goes, and try and put my best foot forward. And I think, the thing that is important about that is, I played my best ball when the lights were the brightest, and I think I proved to people that, I am best when the pressure's on. And when the playoffs came along, I think that was one of the best things, and I was able to really just let it rip, man. And I was just being confident. I was throwing the deep ball well. I was being accurate. I mean, being able to go 13 for 13 to start the national championship was one of the better starts I've had to a game. So I think I learned a lot, and I was able to push myself and able to show teams that hopefully I can be that face of the franchise, and I can be a starting quarterback in the NFL for a long time.
What do you get from Jake Heaps? What do you get from Jake Heaps working on him?
Jake's a great guy, man. I love working with Jake, and he's helped me a lot, man, on and off the field. And he's a great man, unbelievable man of faith, and I love that dude, man. And whether he taught me nothing, on the field, he's just been a great impact on my life, and he's taught me a lot. He's helped me a ton, trying to get more velocity on my ball, and I think he's done a great job for me. Just getting ready, man. Getting turned up.
A lot of talk about the top two quarterbacks in this class. I feel like there's an opportunity for you to maybe get to that three spot, make that push. What's it like to kind of have that opportunity to make some ground here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's unbelievable quarterback talent in this whole draft class. I'm not going to talk about anybody else, man, but I believe in myself, and I think I can be that guy for a team, and I truly believe that. I think I showed it as the season went on this year. It's not always going to be perfect, and I think I was able to show, through the times of adversity and bouncing back from that I was able to, not let things get to me, and I was able to make elite throws and make decisions when the lights were the brightest. And I think, I just hope that there's a team out there that falls in love with me, and I still have that chip on my shoulder, man. I'm always going to have that. I love being kind of the underdog and kind of coming from behind, and I think that's where I thrive and where I want to be. Billy, man, my dog, I'm so happy for him, and if Coach Day didn't hire him as the quarterback coach, I would have had a problem with it. But man, he taught me so much this year. He was integral to my development, and he is absolutely, without a doubt, 100% the best man for that job. And I think he's going to be great for that room. He brings a human element to it where he's not that much older than us, so he's able to relate to us on kind of a guy-to-guy level. But he's also, able to lock in, and he taught me more than a lot of, guys in that role ever could have. And, he really was kind of the mouthpiece from Coach Day to me, Coach Kelly to me at a lot of times if they were doing anything else. He was really my personal one-on-one QB coach at times, and he was great, man. And I got all the praise in the world for that dude. He helped me so much. The things that we did on Thursdays, going on our walks, talking about every play in the game plan, what is each pass play, what's it best against, what's it good against, what we have to manage it against. I felt so prepared going into every single game, and a big part of that was because of Billy.
What's it like playing in Chip Kelly's offense last year, and you like to do it at the next level now?
Man, I love Chip, and his offense is, he's an elite play caller, and he's creative as hell. All the things that we were doing, he's elite, man, and a great guy. And I cherish our relationship, man, and I would love the opportunity to play for him again. But obviously things have to fall into place. We'll see. Obviously I would be happy to go anywhere, but if I got the chance to play for him, I would love that. Julian's one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've been around, and the ball just looks so pretty coming out of his hand. Like, it spins like prettier than I've seen a lot of balls come out of quarterbacks' hands, and he he's got a real chance to be elite, man. I'm excited for him. He definitely is stepping into that leadership position, and I'm excited for him to take on that new role. And he was a little soft-spoken at first, but now, like, this is his sophomore year, man. I'm excited for him to take that step, really be that leader for the team. And I mean, the talent is there, man, and he's put on some weight. He's done good things, and I think I'm just excited for him.
Something that's natural. Like, it seems like it was a natural thing for you to go in there and kind of develop yourself as a leader. Is that something that's natural? Is that something that was learned?
I think it's a little bit of both, man. That's a really good question. I think some of that is innately in you, and I think me personally, I'm an outgoing guy. I like to keep things light, crack jokes, whatever. And part of that is just in you. But the thing is I wasn't perfect when I got to K-State. Like, I was maybe a little different in how I approached things, and I learned a lot from the people in front of me, man. I learned a lot from my coaches at K-State, my parents, the people in front of me at K-State, just looking at other guys, at the college and NFL levels, trying to emulate their games and emulate their leadership styles. I think a lot of that, I learned, but some of it is innately in you. I think it's a little bit of a balance of both. I think you could look at a lot of different things. You turn on the film, and I think I could talk through pretty much any play. You want to bring up a play, I'll tell you, why I did what I did, what the read was, what the play call was, what the protection was. I know pretty much all that stuff. Like looking out there in the national championship game, like on that first touchdown. We went and did the little ghost motion with JJ, and we had the Y come in motion before the play. A lot of people don't even notice that. He came in motion to kind of give a man zone indicator. I could tell they were communicating. They were in man. And, I knew that if I got my eyes back on that guy that was man on Jeremiah and found him where he was at, then the answers to the test were right there. And obviously he was like on the other side of the field because he thought he was running around. I don't blame him. He had to beat him over the top. But, there's examples of that everywhere. I think that's one of the best parts of my game. I believe I'm an elite processor. I can recall things like nothing.
The team meeting after the game, what does it say about Ryan Day to sit there, close the doors, and let you guys hash it out?
Yeah, man, he's a player's coach, and a lot of that was, it was him, but it was also us. And it was, the leaders and the group of guys in the locker room that were able to kind of sit down and say, man, like, we still have something to play for. And, we had a leadership meeting before we even had that players meeting, and we kind of got together and we're like, how are we going to attack this? And I think, the quality of people in that room is a big reason why we did what we did. And, there could have been a tough reaction to that. People were called out. People were, we hashed things out, man. It was the best thing for us because we have mature people in that room that were able to take criticism, to give it out, and to understand what we needed to do to go on that run and win a national championship, and we did what we had to do.
Last one.
You were in the scout teams, when you were throwing into the scout team, what did Jalen and Quinn do that maybe gave you some challenges? It seems like you're somebody people were talking about.
Jalen's a dude, man. He's my 18 partner, man, and I honestly didn't go against him much on the scout team. He was on the second team most of the year, but we would go against him, in fall camp and stuff, and he's instinctive, man. And when you're a safety, you kind of have to be a ball hawk a little bit. He had great ball skills. I remember him going and picking a ball off on like the other side of the field when he was on the other hash. I was like, man, I thought I could get away with that throw. Like, he's a true freshman, and he's going to be special, man. He flies around, he likes to hit stuff, and he's an instinctive and a ball hawk for sure.
All right, thanks, Will.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. Go Bucks.
Yep.
All right, thank y'all.